are taking a totally different look at personal finance. If you've been feeling, just stuck financially, the actual math might not be the real issue here. Let's dive right into the hidden psychology behind our money and visualize how we can literally rewire our brains for wealth. Okay, here's a thought that completely shifts the paradigm. You are not broke because of your bank account. You're broke because of your brain. We spend so much time obsessing over the math, right? The income, the expenses, the interest rates. But the truth is, your financial struggles are overwhelmingly psychological, not mathematical. The root of the problem isn't sitting in your wallet, it's in your wiring. Psychologists actually have a name for this invisible enemy. They call it the scarcity mindset. Basically, this is what happens when your brain genuinely believes there just isn't enough. Not enough money, not enough time, not enough opportunity. And when you perceive this lack, your brain doesn't just calmly sit back and analyze the situation. No, it panics. It is literally forced into a short-term survival mode. And the kicker here, survival mode is absolutely terrible at making long-term rational decisions. You end up just reacting instead of planning. So, let's picture the classic symptoms of this survival mode. When you're intensely stressed about money, what usually happens? Well, you order the comfort food. You buy that completely unnecessary gadget online at 3 a.m. just because it makes you feel better for, what, exactly 5 minutes? Or maybe you avoid checking your bank account entirely because just looking at the balance feels like actual physical pain. If you're nodding along right now, take a deep breath. It is incredibly common. It's just your brain's natural urge to self-soothe with short-term comforts when it feels like it's under attack. And this brings up a really fascinating conflict: weakness versus biology. We are always so quick to label late-night impulse buys or an ignored bank statement as some massive personal failure, like it's a sign of weak willpower. But here's the thing, that's not weakness. That's biology. Your brain is biologically hardwired to escape pain immediately, right now. It is definitely not wired to plan for some distant future that feels vague and uncertain. You aren't failing. Your brain is literally just doing its ancient job of keeping you comfortable in the present moment. But the danger of this biological default is pretty stark. Choosing short-term comfort means you are voting for a future that looks exactly like today. You effectively trap yourself on a treadmill, running faster and faster just to stay in the exact same spot. By prioritizing that immediate relief, you're practically ensuring that the financial stress you feel right now will be the exact same financial stress you feel a year from now. Section 1. Rewiring your financial identity. Let's move beyond the spreadsheets. It turns out actions follow your identity, not the other way around. Let that sink in for a second. If, deep down in your core, you hold the belief that you're just bad with money, well, your brain is going to actively hunt for proof of that belief every single day. You'll conveniently forget a payment, or you'll make an impulsive purchase that totally derails your week. You'll self-sabotage. But not because you're lazy. You self-sabotage because your actions have to align with your identity. Your brain is just faithfully following the script you gave it. Because of that, the actual first step isn't downloading another budgeting app. It's adopting a brand new mental script. You need to start telling yourself, I am someone who makes thoughtful decisions with money. Now, you might be thinking, that's definitely not true yet. Honestly, that doesn't actually matter. You start telling yourself this not because it's a fact right now, but because belief always has to come before behavior. You have to lay down the new mental architecture before the physical habits can actually take hold. Section 2, the 1% shift. Let's turn that mindset into action. To really bridge the gap between psychology and your daily life, we rely on these little micro steps. Step 1, save just 1% more of your income than you did last month. Step 2, read about money for just 10 minutes instead of mindlessly scrolling. Step 3, track just one single expense category that you've been putting off. See, self-improvement and finance actually run on the exact same engine, and that engine is small, repeated decisions. You don't need a dramatic overnight overhaul to change your wealth. You really just need these tiny shifts, repeated every day. So why such tiny steps? Well, we usually focus on the massive mountain of our goals, right? But 1% changes are specifically designed to slip right past your brain's biological resistance alarm. When you try to scale the entire mountain all at once, your brain panics. Boom, survival mode. But those 1% changes, they feel almost too small to even matter, which is exactly why they work. Make no mistake, that internal biological resistance is your real enemy here, not the size of your financial goal. Section 3, meeting your future self. This is a brilliant psychological trick for long-term success. The average person makes decisions for who they are today, in this exact moment. usually just seeking quick comfort. But wealthy, disciplined people, they operate entirely differently. They make decisions for who they will be in 5 years. They don't view their future self as some blurry, vague stranger. Instead, they treat their future self like a real, living person that they are personally responsible for protecting and providing for. So, before every single purchase you make, try putting up this mental filter. Will the version of me 5 years from now thank me for this or resent me? Seriously, pause for a second and actually picture that future you. Answering this question honestly interrupts that hardwired biological urge to escape pain. It literally rewires your impulsive spending habits faster and way more effectively than any spreadsheet ever could. Which brings us to the master key, and it's honestly amazing how interconnected this all is. The profound truth there is that self-improvement, psychology, and finance aren't three separate, isolated topics. They are literally the exact same skill, just wearing three different outfits. If you master your mind, your money naturally follows. If you master your habits, your entire future changes. It all stems from the exact same psychological root. So, what do you actually need today? It's not a higher income to start. It's definitely not a windfall or a winning lottery ticket. You just need three very manageable tools. One new belief about your identity. One small, 1% habit to sneak past your brain's resistance. And one honest conversation with your future self before you swipe your card. Shifting your mindset through these three specific steps is your true starting line. I want to leave you with this final thought. Start this process today. Not because rewiring your biology is easy, trust me, it isn't, but because 5 years from now, that future version of you will exist. Are you going to hand them 5 years of excuses, or are you going to hand them 5 years of compounding progress? The math is simple, but the psychology is profound. Which one are you choosing? Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer, and I challenge you, go make that 1% shift today.